Hello guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to do something a little different. Instead of separately reviewing each movie, I have a huge busy schedule. I'm going to start reviewing the Spider-Man films upcoming soon, and I have a video game review I'm preparing for. I want to review Resident Evil 7, so there are so many things I'm trying to work for you guys, and for what I'm going to do, instead of doing a separate review, I'm going to review the X-Men franchise, the trilogy, X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men... Fuck! So let's begin. It's going to be a concise review. It's going to be some minor spoilers. You have been warned. If you haven't seen X-Men 1 or X-Men 2, X-Men 3, you can check out X-Men 1, X-Men 2. You haven't missed anything X-Men 3. X-Men 3 doesn't exist. But I'm going to review it and give you my rating system. And let's begin. So pretty much the whole entire franchise, you got the first two movies was directed by Bryan Singer. It has a one talented cast. The cast has won numerous awards, Academy Awards. You got Halle Berry, Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen. Look at the franchise itself. X-Men 1, it came out in 2000, and it's pretty much, that was like the first official superhero movie. I mean, Blade came out in the early 90s, but really X-Men was the first official movie that was by Marvel that kind of was a stepping stone for all the Marvel movies and superhero movies we got today, because back in the 90s, early 90s, we got some dumb shit, Captain America movie, we got a Fantastic Four movie, and pretty much the X-Men franchise. I think what Bryan Singer did, he pretty much gave us a really good film. Like, the film at that time was very good. I was like 8 years old when I saw it. But what the X-Men movie lacked, it lacked source material. I mean, the movie didn't really follow what the comic book storyline, and some of the characters that they have in the show in the X-Men wasn't really fleshed out. I mean, Cyclops wasn't really fleshed out. I mean, the movie pretty much focused on Wolverine, and it didn't really balance itself. And I just wanted the characters to be more established. Storm, Cyclops is the leader of the X-Men, and I wanted Cyclops to have some more lines, have some more screen time, but it seemed like he was a background character, and Wolverine was the main star. I mean, that wasn't a problem at the time, but as growing older and a fan who watched the TV shows, I just think that that's something that the franchise should have did more, because there were some episodes in the X-Men series where I was watching where say you have some episodes where you have Beast with Gambit, or Gambit and Rogue with doing the mission together. I mean, not every mission has to be with Wolverine in it. And I just want to talk about the villain. Ian McKellen playing as Magneto for all three of the films was very good, and I really enjoyed his performance. His performance as Magneto was very intense, and I really understand the core convictions of his character and why he really hates the humans. Especially the first part of the first 5 minutes of X-Men. X-Men pretty much built the story and built the ground up and the foundation of his character. Patrick Stewart, who plays Professor Xavier, I thought he was perfect, and I really enjoyed his character. He's pretty much like a Yoda, and a Yoda slash Martin Luther King. He is by far one of the most powerful mutants of all time. He has a power to read. He has a power to read minds. He has a power to control you. He has a power to kill you. He power to squeeze your brain. I mean, he has a power of everything. He can pretty much freeze the whole entire Earth at will, and he can kill every mutant and kill every human. He can kill everyone on this planet just by using Cerebro. That right there. He has a power of God. Professor Xavier is God. As I'm talking about the directional style in X-Men 1 was very cheesy, was very corny. Yeah, you gotta admit, it was very corny. Like, at that time, it was passable, but 2016, when I pop in that Blu-ray, I was seeing that Wolverine fight with Sabretooth. That was some cheesy ass. A good X-Men movie. I have to give this a Christian Bale Batman. I enjoyed this movie, and it's really good. So yeah, X-Men 1. Yeah, X-Men X2. X-Men 2 was again directed by Bryan Singer, and it stars the same talents you have. And I want to talk about my favorite scene in the whole entire movie. Well, one of my favorite scenes in the whole entire movie. By far one of the best scenes in the whole entire movie was the opening scene. That opening scene in X-Men 2 is by far the best opening scene of all the X-Men movies combined. Like, there is no opening scene in no superhero movie that will match up with X-Men 2's opening scene. The story gotten better. It went to new heights. They introduced a new villain, a minor villain, William Stryker. That he was good. It introduced another villain, Lady Deathstrike. She didn't have much lines, but still she had a badass fight with Wolverine. That was a good fight, a really good fight. Pretty much overall, the X-Men 2 went to another level of storytelling, another level of characters. I didn't really feel like X-Men was a team. I just feel like they were just a group of people going to a setting. And that kind of took me out of the X-Men. Overall, this movie is pretty good. So I have to give X-Men 2 a definitely. Ben Affleck Batman, that was a really good movie, a really good movie. I liked the sequences it had. It was intense. And the last ending, I had goosebumps. Like, when I saw the Phoenix in the water, I was like, oh, Phoenix! Yeah, man, that feeling, I felt good leaving that movie theater. So definitely, X-Men 2 definitely deserves a Ben Affleck Batman. So X-Men 3 was directed by Brett Ratner, and there's so many things wrong with that movie. Primarily, I did not buy the deaths. Okay, they killed off 3 great characters in the X-Men series, in the X-Men franchise: Cyclops, Professor Xavier, and Jean Grey. I understand why they killed Jean Grey. That was an iconic moment of the comic books, but the way Cyclops died was bullshit. Like, we didn't see no body. Like, she just, pretty much, you have Jean Grey, she comes back from the water, she comes back as the Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix, and then she kisses Cyclops, and therefore he opens his eyes, and veins pop out, and then boom, dead. Then it went to another scale. You know the thing that Magneto been talking about, that the war is coming? Yeah, okay, yeah, we got that. We got a bunch of mutants versus humans, but what do we get? We get a dyke throwing shockwaves. The war itself was very much not, it had no tension to it. Then they're saying the government found a cure to cure the mutant gene. That was a stupid storyline, because they had a cure for the mutant gene, then they had a boy who could take away mutant powers just by being around him. But that's the case. How did Shadowcat get out of a room with him if he cures mutants' powers? Like about it, you have Callisto popping up, you have a Juggernaut coming up, played by Vinnie Jones. I mean, the new characters, Multiple Man was also in it, but the characters wasn't really fleshed out. They was I felt like they were just forced in the movie just for fan service, I guess, or trying to attempt fan service. I felt like Brett Ratner was trying to be bigger, but when you attempt to go bigger, sometimes it backfires, and it completely backfires. I think what happened was Bryan Singer was directed Superman Returns at that time, so therefore he had to lead the project. Therefore they looked for another director, and I guess they thought Brett Ratner was a genius-minded guy to direct it, and he fucked it up the series. And yeah, so I had to give X-Men Last Stand a George Clooney Batman. That was really good. It was a really awful movie. I really want to forget. It is worth to be burned. It's worth to be destroyed, but it's not as bad as X-Men Origins. I will get to that review next week. So overall, I gave you my condensed review of all the X-Men franchise. Now, I really wanted to review each one back to back, but I just don't have the time to do so. I have lots of things on my plate. I'm preparing a video game review. I'm working on the Spider-Man review. I'm also doing school work and jobs, life, and all that. So guys, thank you for watching. I really love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. If you've watched this video, if you're a new viewer, subscribe to the channel. Alright, thank you for watching. If you like everything you see and you agree, click right here to join me in the Batman family. I've been warned. Till then, ciao.